What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Always seems like your holiday thing kind of screw up what day it is. It doesn't feel like Monday. Uh, got a 572 here. It's got a few miles on it, but did for some performance work. Got everything machined out. Port work's done. Let's take a look in here. See if we can get you a good view. There we go. Not too bad. It's a breeze doing the upper transfers on these because you've got removable caps. So you can really get that intake charge directed where you want it to. Let's see. Take a look right here. So that's been knife edged, all polished out. You can't do a whole lot of opening. For what you have to remember is that you really only have like from here to here as an opening on the crankcase. You know, so everybody that wants to go hog something out, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do there. Look, most of that's there for volume. Anyway, so 35 thousandths off the base and set the squish to 20 thousandths. This should have a nice bump of compression. I usually don't do compression tests unless, you know, there's a problem, but typically you can just remove the muffler and you can see if you got a compression problem. When you machine these, you've also got to take material off the neck right here, and then you've got to hand grind that on both sides so you can clear the bearing pocket right there. Oh, and thanks to whoever was in this saw the last time. I guess I get a base gasket delete. There was gobs and gobs of Durco. You can still see some Durco on the neck there. When you put these transfer caps back in, you need to put them back on with some Permatex of some form. You really have to be selective. It needs to be something that's oil resistant, which is easy to find, and then trying to find something that is gasoline resistant. So you're only left with a handful of choices. You can use Durco from Steel. That's what they use. Moto Seal from Permatex is also gasoline resistant, but that's going to make a good seal. I mean, these have been issues from these at the factory. If there's even a little tiny kink in that O-ring gasket, it'll leak and you'll leave the factory with a light air leak that auto-tune's going to chase. Let's see. Bring you over here and show you what a nightmare this muffler is. We can get, it's gonna be a tough one getting you in here, but these are they're horrible. I mean, they're such a child-proof muffler. You've got this huge baffle, you can only get back so far. I'm not gonna cut this muffler in half and it's just too much of a pain in the ass. So anyway, that's as far as I think I need to go. That should breathe pretty well. In order to get down in there and clean everything out, I use a die grinder, and this is a long carbide burr, and this right here is a valve sleeve for like a Chevy small block. Anyway, it had the right ID, so it'll actually give you some grip. You can hold on to this with one hand and then run the die grinder with the other, and it'll give you a little bit more control. When you run a long shaft like this, they're really hard to control. I mean, I've got my Fordham set up, and that's all well and good. I do want to touch on something else. I've got one of the subscribers has got an issue with a 201 that's haunting him. Here, let me put this up and we'll quit shaking around so much. I'm a little jacked up on caffeine this morning. All right. Seems like he's gone through and done just about everything. I don't believe he's got... Let's turn this so y'all can see, get some decent light. How's that look? And then we'll take you in a little closer. It's funny how that yellowed up. All right, so one of the things we were looking at is when these 201s take a bounce, the impulse line runs, there we go. It starts up here and then snakes around, and then it's tucked into a little pocket in this carb box housing right here. So one of the things we were talking about is that this surface right here, sometimes when the handle, and he just replaced the top handle, so getting this to seat in there just right where it's not pinched or whatever. He said he's vacuum pressure tested it, which is fantastic. And then this piece right here has a locating tab on it. And another thing, when you have these out, make sure, and this is for your low circuit at idle, this piece right here should be able to see some daylight in it. Make sure nothing's got into that. But this only goes in one way, and it's got that to locate. It's a nice snug fit. But yeah, it's easy when this takes a bounce that I've actually seen it's pinched it so hard there's a crack in it, and you don't notice it until you lift up holding the saw, and it'll draw a little bit of air in. On the bench, it will actually pass a vacuum and pressure test. You know, we're chasing a few things and it's hard to do. I'll include my phone number. It seems like we really can't do that much in the comments. Phone numbers seem to get deleted out if the comment goes away. All right, so don't wear this shit out, but here's my cell phone number. It's 864-991-1330. If you really have a question, you know, feel free to give me a shout and we can talk it through. It's easier than pecking away back and forth. But anyway, that's what I was talking about, making sure that that seats down nicely. So I think that about covers it on this build. Yeah, I really wish Husky made a less child-proof muffler. That thing really is a pain in the ass. You know, once you consider that not only do you have to gut the muffler as best you can on both sides, get an opening, and then port match the opening of the muffler and the heat shield. It sucks up an awful lot of time. But anyway, we'll do a timing advance to this 572. We'll get it all back together. I did significantly decrease the amount of blowdown. Factory numbers. I'm missing it here. Let's see. Looks like there was 24 degrees of blowdown, and I'm probably at about 15 degrees of blowdown right now. So it seems like these Strato saws really like short blowdown. All right, time to slap this thing back together and go make some cuts. Anyway, I hope all that was helpful, insightful, or somewhat entertaining. Appreciate all the comments and support. One of these days we'll get to enough hours to get something done. All right, enough rambling. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.